Welcome back to SheCan, where role models inspire you by telling their stories, talking about their insights and experiences to guide you. I'm very excited to talk to Katherine Naylor Pullman today. Katherine, welcome to SheCan. You're the founder and CEO of Our Third Place, formerly known as the Media Dinner Club, a global dinner party series and online community designed to connect women across the media industry. Your mission is to supercharge your network with friendship, and you operate in over 20 cities worldwide already. Congratulations, Katherine. You're also a member of
Thank
the
you.
Media Advisory Board at Sandy Hook Promise, a national nonprofit preventing gun violence. Katherine, so tell us a little bit more about your journey and the pivotal points that you feel led you to where you are today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I think that I just celebrated my birthday, and I'm usually not a big birthday person, but this year it happened to be the same week that I really started thinking about changing the name from the Media Dinner Club to Our Third Place. And I was like, I think I've actually always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Um, my entrepreneur spirit started probably as young as 12 when I would grab my friends and make them make music videos in my basement. But in my career, it started with Quibi, and then moving on to Cameo and The Messenger. Those were three startups I've been part of in the past, and I think I've just had this want and need to build for years. But it's this year that I finally realized, oh wait, I can build as my full-time job. So I'm really excited that all of the exposure I got throughout my career has led me to now be my own CEO.
Katherine, which is so exciting. So, talk to us a little bit about Our Third Place, formerly the Media Dinner Club. You are relaunching. You had a career, you worked for Hello Sunshine and other companies, and now you're going all in. Tell us a little bit more about this decision, knowing that you're really onto something that now requires your, undivided attention.
Yes. So the Media Dinner Club started about 3 years ago when I saw that there was a need for people to make friends in their industry again, for a multitude of reasons. COVID, just cultural norms, people stopped making friends. But really, friends are the people that you want to help out. So that's how we came up with our mission to supercharge your network with friendship. And we are a friendship first platform. How do you make friends? Typically, it's over intimate dinner parties. So the way that the Media Dinner Club started, it was going to be the monthly Media Dinner Club. It was going to be once a month in New York for six women to come together. We quickly saw that this is something that a lot of women were looking towards. So we now are actually live in 36 cities. We have an
Wow.
average of 10 to 15 dinners a week, which last week we had 25 dinners,
Wow.
which is just so incredible. But the reason that we're actually renaming to Our Third Place is that I don't know if you're familiar with the notion of a third place, but you have your home, you have your work, and then you have your third place, which is a community essentially. So we've created a community. And it's a community where you get to show up as you are. You get to practice confidentiality where needed. You make friends, and you leave all of our dinners feeling like your battery has been charged
Mm.
instead of drained. Uh, and that's why we wanted to rename, because it is so much more than just a dinner party series. It's a place that you can dream, connect, have fun, cry. I've cried at a media dinner club before, and really make wonderful connections that are long lasting.
Katherine, so what is the importance of a really good and powerful network, do you think?
Oh gosh, I could tell so many different stories about why a network is important. I think a network is important because your whole life you're told to join teams or
Mm.
classes. In preschool, you're in your preschool class. Then you join the lacrosse team, or you're part of the theater program. And your whole life, you have all these like extracurricular activities that that you do in groups. Then you go to college and you have group projects and you're part of clubs. All of a sudden, post graduation, it's like, wait, where's my team? Where's my club? Where are all my people? So
Yeah.
I think that's really why a network is so important, because you need a team wherever you go. And I like to think that your team can always evolve. Sometimes there's older people on your team, sometimes there's younger people on your team. And that's what we really are allowing people to build through our third place, is that team and community. But even outside of just your network, when you think of your career, your network also can help you with life choices and decisions. One of my favorite stories about our third place is about 2 years ago. I was seated next to a woman and we started talking about my period, which I will say my period on podcast. And she actually revealed to me that she was a doula. I had never heard of a doula. I was like, what is a doula? And she was able to explain to me what a doula was. So fast forward, when I got pregnant, my first call was to Madeline. So I actually had a member of our third place in my delivery room as a doula. If I
Wow.
hadn't gone out to try to create to network for my job, I would have actually never found this whole new resource that I didn't even know I needed. So I think that's also the really special part of networking, is that it's just putting yourself out there. And maybe you don't leave with a deal signed or a potential mentor, but you might leave with a new best friend. You might leave with a new health advocate. So you just never know what you're going to find when you do show up to network.
Katherine, I'm so excited about what you're doing, our third place, because I feel that there is a real loneliness in business, and that's gotten much worse since COVID. And I think there is also such a division just generally that we see in our societies today, right? So we constantly get fed this narrative that we're so divided, when really we're all humans and we're so much more similar and have so much more in common than we are divided. So you're doing something about both of those things. Is there something in your experience and the experience of setting up our third place, obviously being at a lot of the dinners, that you see this loneliness in business, especially for women, is a really acute thing and has been, not only to collaborate, but really about the friendships that you're talking about, where you get something out of it that is much more than making a connection in business?
Right. So I think the loneliness aspect was really big for, the 3 to 4 years after COVID. What I'm now seeing is that people are like, okay, I don't want to be lonely anymore. So it's almost like we've said the problem out loud, and I was
Mm.
like, okay, so how am I not going to be lonely? And when they try to fill in the how, it's like, but I'm not an extrovert, or I'm nervous to go to something alone, or that's so much work. Like, and so what I've been finding is that people are actually accepting, okay, I don't want to be lonely. I don't want to be doing my job by myself. So I'm going to in person network. And then in person networking gets added to their to do list, and it sits
Mm.
on their to do list
Yeah.
because for a multitude of reasons. It's too expensive. It's not accessible for a multitude of reasons. Maybe you feel like it's not your place. So, what we have done through our third place is we have made that in person networking extraordinarily easy, really fun, and really accessible. We're only $15 a month to join. So, and on top of it, when you join our dinners, we have a couple rules at each dinner that make you completely relax. And it's you get there and you're like, oh wait, I can just hang out. I can just be myself. There's no agenda. It's like, yes, exactly. So if let's say you were new to New York City, you were feeling lonely, we have 10 dinners a month in New York City. So what I would recommend is like, okay, you check LinkedIn once a day, and then you go to an our third place dinner twice a month. And now you've taken, you do your online networking, you do your in-person networking, and between those two super tools, you should be able to help build your network and help build out friendships as well.
Yeah. And Katherine, before we went live, you told me you were setting up the media network and the finance network. What is your really big
Yep.
vision? What will success look like for you and the third place?
Oh, good question. It's funny because I started the media dinner club truly just for fun. And I would tell people it will never be my full-time job. Like this is just about having a good time with my girlfriends. And now here I am full-time doing it with a name change and a new website launch. So I think when I think about my logistically speaking, it would be amazing if we had an Our Third Place, the blank network for every single industry,
Yeah.
the health network, uh, their insurance network, etc. Emotionally, I think that so many women reach out to me after the dinner saying, I feel warm. I feel seen. That was so fun. That was so giggly. And I keep talking to like our head of marketing. I'm like, how do you get like the gut warm feeling into our content? Because that's how women feel leaving our dinner. So I think my goal would be for all women to know that there's a place that you can go to a dinner and feel leaving warm. That's a
Mm.
pretty powerful thing. So I think that would be my long-term goal.
Yeah, it means you have created a container that is safe and warm and friendly, and people just want to come to.
Yeah. So if you don't mind me explaining how the dinners work, the
Yeah.
way that the dinners work is that you sign up and there's you'll be seated with like 7 to 8 women and you all go but and each of my and we have a full leadership team of volunteers who host the dinners. So your dinner host will greet you and there's 3 rules at every dinner. The first is come as you are. So if you need to cry about a boyfriend or girlfriend, if you need to order champagne because you got promoted, if you need to talk about a relationship you're having at work that isn't working out, anything is on the table. Uh, Extroverts, introverts, whatever you need for those 2 hours, you are allowed to come as you are. So our second rule is practice confidentiality. So
Mm.
make sure that you're using confidentiality at the table so that everything that happens at the table stays at the table. And then our third rule, which is my favorite, is the pivot rule. So if at any point anyone at the table is feeling uncomfortable about a conversation that's happening, they can say pivot, no questions asked. So those 3 rules really allow that intimacy that leaves you feeling really warm and cozy after the dinners.
I love those rules, Catherine. They remind me a tiny little bit of a sort of a meditation group that I have online, because we also have those sort of rules. And actually, it creates a really safe place where people can be authentic and vulnerable and show up as they are. Catherine, so
Yeah.
I'm
And I don't
wondering,
think people are expecting that at a dinner party. Sorry, I
no,
just interrupted
yeah,
you.
no, you're right. No, you should absolutely. So, do you want to give us some tips on your experience, Catherine, of seeing it and doing it, of how to create real connection?
We have built, so we believe in connection. We believe in in-person connection at our third place.
Yeah.
And in order to create in order for me to say to people, join us, connect with us, I had to come up with internal values so that our third place is the friend you can always rely on. So when I think of connection, I think of it as friendship. And what we talk about internally is like we need to practice reciprocity. So what do you do when you're connecting with someone? You're giving them something and they're giving you something in return. So I constantly talking about that with my leadership team. You also have to show up consistently for someone. And the third being you have to lead with joy. So typically when you're trying to connect with someone, if you start the conversation joyful, if you have some sort of dialogue or some sort of exchange of goods, and then if you consistently show up for that person, that connection then becomes a friend. And the more the more times you can over and over again practice making a connection and then practice showing up for them is when you really build those connections and build those friendships. So I'd say the world is really needing friends.
Mm.
That's what I think more of what the world needs. It's less about the connection is just the beginning of it. And the friendship is what what the world needs. I was thinking about it this morning. I've been going to the same coffee shop since April 30th when I was, I gave birth April 6th. And then once I was out and about, I've been going to the same coffee shop every single day all summer long. And there's this cute barista who I always chit chat with. She's lovely, nice girl. And today, I'm about to head back to the city and start like a whole new routine. And I asked her, I'm like, what are your plans? Like, I see that you're leaving because there was a big sign, like, we'll miss you. She's like, oh, I'm actually becoming a school psychologist. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. And during my checkout, I left her a really nice tip. And it was such like a there's a small, and she looked up and she's like, thank you. I'm like, go kill it. You're going to be amazing. And all summer long, she had been a connection, someone I knew every day, someone I was always friendly to. But it really felt like today when I told her about my future and she told me about hers that we became friends.
Mm.
So that's what I think the world needs. It's like that extra, it doesn't have to be in a cash tip per se, but I went out of my way to be like, you know what, you've been really nice to me all summer. And I think that's what the world needs more than anything else is
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah. I
Did
think
you like that answer?
I love this answer, Catherine, because I think you're so right. And I think that connection and friendship is something that we need to intentionally do more of and think about more,
Yes. Yes. It's
so
like
we need,
connections can happen all day, every day, but they're so fast and you can connect with someone online in 2 seconds over Slack or over a LinkedIn post. But
yeah,
it's it's you're inundated with the potential to have connections and where you're going to connect. It's choosing to be intentional about then making those connections into friendships that I think really is what this generation is needing.
yeah. Catherine, so what do you feel are sort of your challenges for this next phase, of being an entrepreneur, of running your own team, holding this vision, expanding, adding? What do you feel are the sort of things that might trip you up that you need to reframe?
Great question. Couple of things. I mean, for one, I'm a first-time CEO and a first-time mom within the same quarter,
Mm,
which I've actually never felt more. I'm so excited about that. It doesn't scare me, which I'm like, okay, then this means I'm really on the right path here. But that also means I'm a first-time mom and I'm a first-time CEO. So there have been meetings where I'm on the phone with our lawyer talking about trademarks and IP while I'm holding my baby. And the same week, I had to learn about coding and use what AI platforms to use. Was also the same week I had to learn about feeding Libby, that's my daughter's name, solid foods for the first time. So my brain is in this uh, constant state of
expansion.
neuroplasticity. I think that's
Mm,
what it's called. My brain hurts at the end of the day. So, and I keep saying that to my family. I'm like, I feel like my brain is actually growing tenfold every day. So I think that the hardest thing is going to be, how am I going to do anything else? How am I going to like? I can only be those two things.
yeah,
So, I think I'm going to have to use the power of no, which I hate. I hate saying no to things, but I'm going to have to say no to things. I'm going to have to figure out what our new routine looks like at home. I mean, I had a meltdown about this literally on Saturday night. I'm like, how am I going to do it all? And I think the truth is, you can't do it all. So, what tool and how am I going to? What am I going to introduce into my life to help me balance this new stage? So that's top of mind for me. I think also top of mind for me is that my husband and I both work a lot. So what does our relationship look like as me as a CEO and him working a lot with this new daughter? So that's a real thing, making sure that we spend time with each other. Um, and then I also want to really understand. I think I really want, I'm going to have a steep learning curve when it comes to being the face of a company. I don't know if I like the word the face, but I do want to make I do want to be on podcasts. I do want to be on panels. And I think there's going to be a very steep learning curve on how I want to talk, who I want to present myself as, because I just am going to show up as myself. That's just how I am. But I'm going to have to learn the nuances of that a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I think
I'm
that's
scared. I'm a little scared of the future, but it's a really good, scary feeling. And I'm gonna have to be sponsored by Advil at some point because my brain is actually hurting by the end of the day.
Catherine, I love everything you say, and I think it's a great phase, and it's a phase of expansion. And I remember my kids are mostly grown up now, but I mean, I was a little bit in the same shoes as you at the time, and it's an incredible phase. And yes, you know you won't be able to watch every Netflix series in the evening because you're gonna do other things, but you're doing really interesting things, and that really adds to everybody's life, not only your life but your husband's life and your children's lives. And so I've really seen that. So Catherine, you wanted to ask me questions.
Oh yeah. So at every one of our dinners, you go around, you say your name, we go over the three rules, you say your title, and then we ask you one work question and one fun question as a way to break the ice at any dinner. So my favorite questions to ask are, for the work one was, what was your win of the week last week? So what was your win? And then my fun question has been, who's been like your girl crush of the summer?
Oh God, that's difficult to say. Actually, I my win is that I got a really important person that I can't name, sadly, on the podcast next week. And so I'm very excited about that. And uh, I think SheCan Media, we want everybody on our platform, no matter where they come from, what walk of life they come from, what area they work in, whatever their purpose is. We want them. We are very, very aware that the degree of separation, when it's small, is actually a plus. I mean, I have never seen that if a woman is more, let's say, sort of famous or in the media already, I don't think that she had many more listeners than probably some people no one has ever heard of before, just because the degree of separation is small. And so it's a real mentoring and role modeling, and people feel if she can do it, I can do it. So there is a real power in having everyday people telling their stories, because they are very powerful, and literally people take them on board and emulate and think, yes, if she can do that, I can do that. And so that
Yeah,
is
there's been a
that.
few of your, sorry.
Yeah, so I feel that's a
Thanks.
real important thing to mention in terms of SheCan and the success. And I guess that's I've really only realized that properly in the month of July. So when I realized, I always have, I have a whole vision board, and I know who I want to have on SheCan and who needs to be on there, and then you adjust. I have a lot of different
Mhm.
names on this vision board now than I had a year ago, because I understood the power of every one of us being able to lead by example. It doesn't need a person that's already in the media all the time. Um, and what was the second question?
Well, one comment to what you're saying. I've gone to your podcast in particular when I have a certain problem. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I need to learn about this. So I listen to this podcast. I need to learn about this. And so I go to this podcast or this episode, which I really appreciate. And I feel like, in a way, you're creating, I don't want to use another brand's name, but little classes, just like little lessons, like they're little micro lessons on how I can be thinking about things. So I really appreciate that you're having such a wide range of executives on your podcast, and a wide range of women, because when I can like select which episode for I kind of like what I need for that day.
Yeah, that's
And the
amazing.
second question was like, who's your girl crush of the summer?
My girl crush is definitely my daughter this summer. She's 18. She graduated from school. She is doing a gap year. She is applying to unis. She's applying for internships. She's sort of flying the nest, and watching that with every child is amazing. And we've had a great summer together. She had an 18th birthday party with all of her friends, and she is very generous with her friends, with her parents as well. So we're part of this growth of, expanding friendships, which is amazing. And it's always incredible to birth a child, to see them grow for 18 years, and then to fly the nest and do their own thing. So that's my biggest girl crush. I guess always has been. I have two boys and a girl. She's the one in the middle, and she's now 18. And to see her, figure out what she wants to do with her life is very, very exciting. And I guess,
I love that.
and I guess every single woman I interview, Catherine, and it is now over 550, I think. And there's only one woman in that mix that I did not at all have a connection with. So I really have a crush on every woman I interview after every interview. And I do many a day. So I have a lot of girl crushes going on at
I
any.
love I love those answers. I love that because I mean, I feel like every time I even go to one of our dinners, I leave and I'm just so in awe of every single woman at the table.
Yeah.
So, I love that you get to interview these women and get to share their stories to everyone. Yeah, there's something powerful in women and
there's
us
there's a
telling each
lot
other's
of
stories.
powerful there's lots of powerful stories, and I'm excited because we're going to rebrand SheCan to WeCan, and we're going to include all the male allies that do incredible things out into the world in the world. And so that's also very exciting, and it's really a sort of
Yeah.
evolution of, coming from one place and then evoluting into something that's even bigger, and to not be scared of that bigger vision and to step into those boots, which is exactly what you're doing, right? You started something that started as something that didn't seem very serious, and it's getting very serious, and you're rebranding and you're holding a bigger vision, because it's not just the media dinner club, it's our third place. And that means, you know,
Yep.
people from all industries actually can congregate and have friendships. You met a doula at one of those dinners that then was at your birth. And I love that, because I think this is, if we do this intentionally and you've built a beautiful container, that's a really great thing to have. So, Catherine, tell us about your plans and goals. You're doing this full time. You have a 4 month old. You're stretched, but you're going for it. So, what are the immediate sort of plans and goals?
Yeah. Immediate plans and goals would be we have chapter and dinner leads who help run each of the city chapters. And we're actually hosting 70 of our 90 women on our volunteer team in New York City on October 3rd and 4th.
Wow.
So, immediate goal is to have that be a success. When I said I wanted to do a leadership retreat, we had about 15 people on our team. Now I'm hosting 70 women in New York City. So, intimate, like immediate goal is making that a success. We've had some great brand partners come on to help make the weekend a success. So I'm dreaming about it. Like every night, I keep having dreams that something goes wrong, but it's going to be great. It's going to be an amazing weekend. Another immediate goal is to so you're going to see the new version of the website at launch, which is much more user friendly. But I have like version 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like already queued up of how I really want to make it uh, a really great resource for our members.
Yeah.
So without saying anything that I'm not allowed to say yet, a super I'll say a supercharged way to look at your network through our platform. So learning all about website development, the customer journey is something that's top of mind for me. I think I'm also a goal of mine is to continue to show up as a friend as much as I can. I'm a bridesmaid in a couple weddings this year, and we're doing the wedding circuit a lot this year. It's like, okay, I'm going to be a CEO, I'm going to be a mom, but I also really want to continue to show up for my friends who have been there for me since day one, and making sure that I have time for those friends as well as is going to be a really big priority for me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'd love to learn how to watch football. That's not going to happen this year, but at some point I need to like get engaged with football. But I said that to my dad yesterday. I was like, I think I'm going to watch football this season. He was like, why? You don't have the time for that. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like it's something social and fun. But yeah, I also just want to practice gratitude every single day and be grateful that I have this beautiful daughter and a supporting husband, and just continue to practice gratitude through all of the really hard decisions and development I'll be doing at work. Just continue to be happy during the day as much as I can.
Yeah, amazing. Katherine, so what takeaways would you like our listeners to have from your story?
Ooh, great question. My first takeaway would be, you know how they say, take the road less traveled? Take the road that no one even saw coming. Take the road that there's a big caution sign, do not go down. Because my entire career, I got the advice that I was moving companies too quickly, and that my resume was starting to look like logo soup. I'm so glad that I jumped around a lot, and I'm so glad that I've been at so many different companies, because it makes me feel so much more I just am more ready to be a CEO because of it. So for any user who's like, oh, I really should stay at this company though for X years, it's like, no, you can leave, and nothing, it's not going to upset your career. So I'd say that's one. Two would be nice to people. Be
Mm.
nice to people. It's something that people don't do as much anymore. Um, Wave, like smile to the person you walk by on the street. Say hi to your friend's doorman, uh, because you just never know where your next connection is going to be. And the world does want to be nice to you. They do want, like, I think something I've seen with the Media Dinner Club and now our third place is that we have had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women go to our dinners because they want to make friends. Like, people genuinely want friends. People genuinely want to connect. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of making new friends. And then the last thing I would say is, I have been told that I'm the loudest person in the room sometimes, that I've been told that a lot of my strengths are my flaws. And you should always know that your strengths are your strengths, no matter what. Those are your strengths. Own them, love them. You can tweak them, you can curate them, you can learn how to make them a little bit brighter. But anyone who tells you that your strength is a weakness is not someone that you should have in your circle.
Katherine, I'm so,
I kind of took that a different way, but those are that's my advice. And
I
then
love it.
also sign up for our third place and join a dinner.
Exactly. So we would love to get everyone listening to this to have a little tune into our third place, this new website. It is launching exactly the day this is coming out. And sign up. I've signed up. I'm excited. I'm excited to go to dinners in London. And thank you
Yay!
so much for coming on, Katherine.
Thank you for having me.